Greetings, welcome back to another go at LEGO 8-Bit's North Pole Challenge. So I made a few tweaks. I am of course in post-commentary mode. Video has been sped up to 4 times actual speed. And away we charge. Now, in this iteration that I'm running at the moment, I have made a few tweaks, and really, I'm doing narration and you call me. Thank you. Okay, so I've done a few tweaks, removed a few of the battery modules around the rear end of it, so it's got a quarter of the storage power now. Really don't think I needed that much battery power, and as a consequence of removing that weight, we seem to be travelling a hell of a lot faster, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Now, of course, I know what's going to happen in this video. Well, I should do because I recorded it, but obviously you guys don't. Now, I should point out that this is a fresh sandbox that I've started doing challenges on, and the debris from each attempt I've just left here, because it's called the Challenges Sandbox. And sort of planetary alignment, well, kind of really doesn't matter. So as you can see, coming up to debris there from previous attempt, and as you can see at the speeds that I'm travelling at, getting some impressive air. Now, at this sort of speed, it's probably a good thing that we have extra reaction wheels, and of course having RCS on helps. Of course, what you're probably not going to realise is I'm hardly touching the controls of this thing. I've just throttled the jet engine up and enabled the SAS and the RCS, and apart from every now and again when I look back to check the navigation, make sure it's going in the right direction and not about to run off a cliff into the water, which would be bad. Other than that, my hands are off the keyboard, like right now. Unless the mouse is moving or the screen's scrolling around, then I'm literally not touching it. So, navigation wise, trying to pick relatively flattest spot. He says bouncing up and down. I mean, this one I really couldn't leave alone for that long. I mean, you can see right now I'm looking around and trying to figure out the best way to get through the hills and whatnot. I mean, we're doing what sort of speed, 100 and something? I can't really quite tell. It's moving around quite a bit. I can't really tell because the video sped up to like 4 times normal speed. Which, But just to confirm, yeah, we're thrust limited to 30. And yeah, we're going like a bat out of hell across the ground. Oh, don't want to be heading in that direction. To go that away, that's better. Drive on, T. Uh-oh. You can see what's going on landscape-wise by the shadow. Bear in mind, there are no wings on this. There are no fins on it. So its vertical movement is entirely dependent upon and in relation to gravity. Oh dear. So we read the diagnostics as to what's smacked into the ground, scratch our heads, and then make a few more adjustments. So here you can see I've kind of done a V-shaped landing gear design. So again, gotta start off backwards. No problem. That's what RCS is for. Now the RCS power has to be, by its very nature, a lower power than the main jet engine. And as you can see, I only fire the jet engine up once we get off the back of the runway. Now, I don't know if it's just my preview video, but it really does look like it is actually travelling sort of sideways across the ground. It must be the way the grassy texture is and the update speed of this preview video. Ever so weird. But the good thing about having it at 4 times normal speed is that basically you're not sat bored out of your tears watching me zip across the ground. However, I do encourage you to try this rather than a more conventional buggy. There is a reason for doing it as well. I created a oops. Yeah, I remember that. I was turning while I was airborne and I got majorly airborne at the wrong point and kind of flipped it over. So this one we have triple landing gear. We have one each side coming out at approximately 45 degrees and one straight down. We've also incorporated a long beam at the front, which hopefully I'm going to turn around and show you. I'm sure I spun it around and showed. Oh well. That kind of looks really weird. There we go. It's got a couple of landing gear on just in case it hits something a bit spiky, pointy uppy. So don't forget the previous attempt, the debris, if there's any left, is of course left wherever it lands. And as you can see, getting majorly airborne still. So each time I use the debris to mark out where not to go. So eventually I will get to the North Pole, because I'll just use the debris to sort of make kind of a channel to go down. And just remember, at this debris we turn left, at this debris we turn right. As I was saying before I crashed, the full squished frog variant, whatever you want to call it, might do a design to see if it will work better than the mini squished frog. The full squished frog variant I've landed on Minmus, and you know those great big long flats, you can get up some really insane speeds on them, especially if you use RCS to keep yourself down on Minmus. Just working out navigation now where we are. We need to move touch around. And going straight north from the KSP is nigh on impossible. First of all, you've got a body of water there. But secondly, even if you do go around that, if you travel straight north from there, then basically you've got huge mountain ranges. Oops. And that was just a small little hill. Yeah, at that point I'd done the course correction and I wasn't watching, hence the delay. Now this one I've done basically landing gear vertically instead of poking it out, which actually seemed to work a touch better. Now the downside is, with having that much landing gear on, you do of course had a lot of weight and basically a lot of air resistance. But having said that, I suspect even travelling 60 meters per second is a bit too quick at times. Now I should point out that I'm not using saved games. Each time I start off again from the runway. Yes, so I make a slight variation and changes and whatnot. But yeah, start off again from the runway. I mean, I could just cut the power every so often, come to a stop, quick save and carry on. And then should I crash, I could always pick up from the quick save. Oh, here's a funny bit. Yeah, for some reason Fraps decided to stop recording, but it's okay. I cut the throttle and hit the brakes. As I was saying, I could quick save every so often, but really I'm kind of looking to set speed record here to get to the North Pole on the ground. Well, kind of, sort of. My guess is so far I'm probably, what, 1/15th of the way there? Maybe a 20th of the way, something like that. Got a few revisions in mind for the not so mini squished frog. The only downside here is that well, it starts to get a bit bigger, and that's where some more interesting physics start kicking in. I mean, for example, take this concept right now. It's doing 60 plus meters per second. Oh, this is at the point where I'm playing with the lights on it, by the way. So it's travelling at 60 plus meters per second over the ground. Now that would be wonderful if it was flat, but if you think about it, the terrain in KSP is not it doesn't transition smoothly. If you look around the roads, etc., you don't get sudden angles when things change. Everything's smooth and it flows from one angle to another. And in those circumstances, I'm pretty sure my designs would be quite wonderful. However, this is KSP, and there is no gradual transition between different angles. So the faster that you go, the more sharply those angles change. So you could crawl from KSP to the North Pole at like 1 meter per second and go up and down hills to your heart's content. Hell, if you kept your speed at 1 meter per second, you could pretty much go down a near vertical's face and not have an issue. You'd pretty much never get airborne. No tank slappers. Nothing like that would ever cause you a problem. And yes, I am considering something like that. But still. If you look at my video, you can tell by the way that I now have the forward-facing lights set up that the ground is very much uneven right in front of me, and I'm just zipping across this at the fastest that engine will push me. Caution? To hell with caution. Now, this also means that because I'm not reverting every time I crash, it also means that time is progressing. Now, just checking if anything's broken, checking distances, etc. Which means at some point I'm going to be doing this in the dark. That could get interesting. Oops. And there we go, getting air again. Yeah, the thought has occurred to me of doing this as a boat. I think this one here, my last attempt, has indeed set the distance record, or my personal distance record anyway. But the issue here is we're starting to come up to some rougher terrain. Well, we negotiated that okay, but in a minute we're going to have an issue. And hey presto. Well, there's your stats. Can't read them on the preview, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm CW, and, well, I'm attempting to get to the North Pole. Bye for now.